listening to Vet Candy.
You are listening to All Creatures, Feathers, Fear, and Flute. Join the hunt for Mothman, based on a short story by Dr. Jill Lopez.
We'll be right back with more Vet Candy.
NexGard PLUS, afoxolaner, moxidectin, and pyrantyl chewable tablets. Every one-and-done monthly dose protects canine patients against heartworm disease, fleas, ticks, roundworms, and hookworms. All in a delicious beef-flavored soft chew. Use with caution in dogs with a history of seizures or neurologic disorders. Dogs should be tested for existing heartworm infection prior to starting a preventive. To learn more, visit NexGardPlusClinic.com.
What was that?
Oh, baby, it's nothing.
That isn't nothing?
I think it was Andy Warhol who once said everyone gets 15 minutes of fame. For me, it's been a little longer than 15 minutes. It's been 3 whole weeks since my crew and I saved Riverton from that crazy scientist who mutated a rabies virus and set it free through a cute little Chihuahua devil dog. I was a star. I was a small-town hero. I had offers to be on Good Morning America, Today Show, and even Drew Barrymore's people called You Know How Much I Love Her. The story also inspired a new trend on TikTok, the Yeti Challenge, where people did a mix of the whoa, the sneeze, and the swag bounce while holding a Yeti. But now, life's back to its usual grind. I had to fork over my own cash for coffee this morning at the general store. Can you believe it? I'm officially a has-been. But I'll admit it, I kind of miss the excitement for local fame. Being the town hero had its perks, you know? If only folks knew the real deal. And guess what? It's official now. Smalls and I are undercover agents for the VIA. No fancy uniforms or badges for us, though. Gotta keep it low-key. It's all part of the spy game, and I'm all about low-key. Hammer fist, hammer fist, palm strike. Jab, jab, roundhouse kick, jab, jab. Jab, jab.
Okay, Dr. G, you are doing great. But you don't need to name the exact move each time. Remember, the element of surprise will give you the advantage over your opponent.
You do it your way, I'll do it my way. Flying knee strike! Jab! Jab! Jab!
Can we switch places, Yoron? Or better yet, what about get her a large side of beef like Rocky Balboa? Oh, I think she's definitely moved on to beef.
Dr. Smalls, you've got this. Practice makes perfect. Here's what you do. When she strikes, pivot your body towards the incoming strike like this.
Ow!
Then engage both hips, propelling them forward. The hips serve as the driving force for every strike and block you execute. By keeping both elbows lowered, you maintain a vertical forearm with the blocking arm, effectively defending the target while delivering punches from the core.
Ooh, ouch!
Wait, Yoron, can you do it again? I missed that. Let me grab a piece of paper and a pencil. Do it once more so I can take notes. All right, one more time.
Saved by the bell. Keisha's texting me about a patient. Keisha's amazing as a practice manager, and I love having her handle everything with us being so busy, but she's also sort of suspicious at times, as if we're doing something covert or something.
Imagine that. Us covert.
Oh, great. Keisha says Karen Stevens is in the lobby. All yours, Dr. Smalls. You know how much her Bella loves you. Don't you agree, Yoren?
Yes, that's true. She always tells me that no one can cut nails like Dr. Smalls. He's all man, and it takes a real man to cut Bella's nails.
Actually, a visit with Karen sounds great right now. I would take 1,000,000 Karen Stevens appointments rather than another one of your roundhouse kicks.
Let's sneak back up and act like we just got back from a house call. Yoren, you go first.
Good afternoon, doctors. Urine. I see you've decided to show up for work today. It must be my lucky day.
Oh, well, the
yeah,
farm call
you
just
know.
kind of ran long.
Your appointments are waiting for you. Miss Stevens is here, and today she's already written a really nasty Google review about having to wait, quote, forever in our smelly lobby.
Oh, God.
I think she started writing it before she left home today. It is a novel. At least 1,000 words so far and counting. She wrote that our lobby smelled like a rotten egg that has been buried in the bottom of a used hamster cage for a century.
Not a hamster cage. That's actually the worst.
And another quote, office staff is horrible, especially that snobby new manager. It goes on and on.
Oh, great. Well, I guess it's up to me to save the day. Super Dr. Smalls, activate.
Go Smalls. Go Smalls. Save the day. I'm going to go check on something in my office. By that, I mean to go grab an ibuprofen or two. I'll be right back.
Smalls, she's in exam room 1.
Manifest happiness. It is going to be a great day. And nobody, not even Karen Stevens, will ruin it for me. Great day. Great day. Come in.
Good afternoon, Dr. G. Hope you're doing well. How was practice?
Hey, Sam, it was good. Learning lots of cool maneuvers. Has it been really busy?
It's been a little busy, but we have it under control.
You think Keisha knows anything? She seems a little snoopy, right? Or am I just paranoid?
Keisha's totally in the dark. All she's doing is trying to keep you two on top of your appointments. I had a chat with her and everything's cool. She's not on to us at all. Just thinks you guys need to step up your game. She did say that she expected the vet clinic in Connecticut to be run more professionally, but...
But what?
But you are going to have to come up with a good story because we just got the call.
The call?
Yep, the call, your first call. VIA gave me the heads up to get you and Dr. Smalls on a flight to DC pronto. It's urgent, a special undercover assignment, and you're gonna have to clear your schedule for the afternoon, maybe even a few days, so you'd better come up with a believable excuse to tell Keisha. Something that won't raise any red flags.
Let me think. What about Ringworm? She seems so well-dressed and organized, she definitely will stay away from that.
Ringworm. Yeah, that might work. Start scratching and I will let her know.
Got it.
Special assignment? Yeah, right. I can read Sam like an open book, and believe me, she was practically transparent. No way the VIA would tap fresh agents like Smalls and me for some top-secret undercover mission. And in DC? Come on. We're obviously being whisked off to a headquarters for a well-deserved awards bash. I mean, hello, we saved the whole town, maybe even the world. Sam's probably been sworn to secrecy, but it's as clear as day to me. And picture this, flying first class all the way, me and Smalls. Maybe even a private jet? Nah, that's pushing it. But I bet we'll have those cushy first class seats locked in. And I'm also betting on a swanky 5-star hotel to boot. I can taste the champagne now. Oh man, I've got to start planning my glam game. Cutest shoes, killer makeup, and a stack of little black dresses. DC better brace itself because Dr. G Glam Vet is rolling in, all style and smiles. I can't wait.
Dr. G, do you really need all this luggage? Why did you pack so much? And why are you all dressed up? Are those product sunglasses?
I was about to ask, what's with the backpack and flannel t-shirt and jeans? Seriously, Small, this isn't some covert op we're embarking on like Sam was trying to make us think. It's crystal clear we're going to be treated to an all-expenses-paid getaway to D.C. for a single glorious reason. A massive celebration. Like some big award ceremony for seasoned spy pros. I'm talking lifetime achievement vibes. Maybe even a personal nod from the president. It's written all over this trip. Why else would we be headed to D.C.?
To help investigate another case?
You, my dear, are so naive. It is obvious it's a celebration, a well-deserved honor for us. And inside these suitcases, I'm packing a selection of LBDs, just to cover all the bases. And a cute business suit, because who knows what kind of vibe we're going for. Maybe more on the suave side, or more than full-on glam. Then there's makeup, gotta have options, and shoes, obviously can't forget those. Oh, and the hair tools, blow dryer, flat iron, curlers. Still undecided on the do, though. Maybe an updo, maybe something else entirely. Guess I'll figure it out when we get there.
Didn't you bring any work clothes, scrubs, or at least jeans? Dr. G, well, when I think they said it was a case investigation, they meant it. If it was an award, wouldn't they tell us?
Oh, Smalls, my dear innocent Smalls. Let me paint the picture for you. Here's the rundown. We'll be chilling in first class, sipping champagne, munching on caviar, maybe even indulging in a shrimp cocktail. Then it's straight to our 5-star digs in a sleek limo. I'm thinking the Waldorf Astoria, top-notch all the way. First class, baby, that's our jam. And me, always flying first class. Super secret agents like us, we're practically synonymous with first-class travel. It's common knowledge.
So I'm guessing that you didn't see the e-ticket yet.
Why?
Because we have seats right by the bathroom on Opaque Airlines.
That's probably the name of a private jet company.
Spell it backwards, G.
C-H-E... oh no. Cheapo Airlines?
Well, it is the government, and they're always having budget cuts. I'm sure the first to go is the Secret Veterinary Intelligence Agency.
Man, I more than dislike being wrong. I hate it. Ask anyone in my vet school class and they'll tell you how badly I take being wrong. And let me tell you, I was dead wrong about this one. If an airline was any indication, I definitely overpacked big time. And speaking of overpacking, listen up. If you don't know squat about being a secret agent for the government, let me drop some knowledge. First off, they're all about cutting costs. From the airlines to the hotel accommodations. This is not what I had in mind at all, being crammed in the middle seat with my knees by my nose. Definitely not what I was expecting. But hey, I'm not throwing in the towel just yet. Maybe we'll get to live it up undercover, right? Gotta hold on to hope that at least for the rest of the day, I will be doing what I was imagining. It can't get worse, right?
Smalls, I am absolutely fuming. Ugh! Can you believe it? A $200 baggage fee for a measly $65 round-trip ticket. And on top of that, I had to fork over $50 just to talk to a customer service rep in person because I didn't confirm the baggage in advance online. I'm seething with rage.
Well, you can always keep the receipt and try to get reimbursed.
Well, at least things can't possibly get any worse, right? It's got to be some kind of mistake with the airline booking. That's the only explanation. We're heroes. I have to stay positive. And I'm sure that the next step we've got...
Well, surprise, surprise. Turns out we didn't end up anywhere near the Waldorf Astoria. Not even close. Motel 6 was our grand destination. But hey, at least we got the celebration to look forward to, right? Meeting the president, a private White House tour, champagne flowing, caviar, oysters, yum! That's gotta make up for the less than luxurious accommodations.
Hi guys, how was the trip?
Yoron, please don't ask.
Alright, I won't. So, now that we are on a secure line, let me brief you. Your assignment is to get undercover as 2 veterinarians from Connecticut.
Veterinarians from Connecticut? Ouch, that's gonna be tough. I don't think we can handle that.
You are going to be investigating some strange occurrences in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. There is something strange going on, and we need you two to help figure it out.
Ah, West Virginia. That's why we're here, I guess. But what exactly is going on? Any crazy scientists this time?
We don't have much intel, but here's what we know. There's a mysterious illness wreaking havoc on poultry, otherwise known as highly pathogenic avian influenza or bird flu. Your mission is to get in there, investigate, snoop around, collect samples, interview some key people, and check records. In and out.
Oh, don't forget the most important part, Iran. There is also a report of a Mothman attacking people and kidnapping chicken flocks throughout Mason County. And you two need to investigate that too.
What?
A young woman reported that a large half-bird, half-man creature attacked her boyfriend's car while they were parking in Riverfront Park. Her boyfriend is currently in ICU and his Trans Am is literally in pieces. Images from the crash report reveal large claw-like marks on the hood and roof. According to local reports, residents believe it's the work of Mothman, who they also say is infecting chickens with some sort of dirty Mothman bird flu.
Now, I'm not from the US. If it was a crazed Baba Yaga, then I could be of help. But I have no clue what a crazed Mothman is. But it sounds pretty dangerous.
Yoran, let me fill you in on the Mothman. You know I'm an amateur cryptologist. Mothman is a legendary creature described as a humanoid figure with massive wings, often resembling a moth or bat. It's usually depicted as standing around 7 feet tall, with glowing red eyes and a wingspan of up to 10 feet. Witnesses have reported sightings of Mothman flying over Point Pleasant, often accompanied by odd lights and eerie sounds. These sightings are often linked to other paranormal occurrences, like strange phone calls and electrical disturbances and...
Good to know. I will make a note of that in the file. Any questions?
Do I have questions? You bet I do. Yoran, are you seriously asking us to track down Mothman? You can't be serious. We're dealing with a mythological, bloodthirsty creature and spreading bird flu and attacking people, and you want us to investigate? You expect us to take on a 7-foot-tall, half-bird, half-man creature with bird flu and get samples?
Yes. Any other questions?
No.
No. This day is turning out to be the complete opposite of what I had in mind. Now I'm in a rental Hyundai with Smalls, headed west to Point Pleasant. We're investigating a mythical creature, and we're dealing with bird flu on top of it. Can it get any weirder? We drove our rental car to Point Pleasant in about 4 hours, only stopping to refuel and grab our favorite road snacks, turkey jerky for Smalls and pistachios for me. And trust me, I'm saving every single receipt. And where is our first stop? Point Pleasant Veterinary Hospital, where hopefully we'll find some answers.
Before we go in, let's get our story straight. Okay, here's our story. We're just in the area, scoping out the scene, considering opening a new practice down here. West Virginia, all creatures. That's our cover. We're not here to investigate Mothman, bird flu, missing birds, or anything like that. They won't suspect a thing. You can divert their attention, and then I can sneak around, check their record, and sort out this mess quick. Then we can hightail it out of here and head back home where there are no Birdman beasts. Smalls, think stealth and body stealth. Undercover and stealth. Okay?
Shouldn't we just tell them the truth?
No! Here's how it'll go. I'm Dr. Smith, and you're, Dr. Jones. Let's not use our real names, Greathouse and Smalls. We need them to trust us. They won't trust us if we don't come up with a good cover like this. Smith and Jones. Got it?
Yeah. Remind me again, why can't we just tell them the truth?
They can't handle the truth. Remember that, Dr. Smith.
I thought I was Dr. Jones and you're Dr. Smith.
Okay, Jones. I'm gonna knock on the door. Get ready. 1, 2, 3.
Hey there, Dr. Greathouse and Dr. Smalls. Welcome. I'm Kiana. Everyone else is in the back. We've been keeping an eye on you through the doorbell camera. We're thrilled that you're here to investigate this crazy situation. We didn't know what to do. Can I get you some coffee? I think we have donuts too. Let me check.
Ooh, coffee and donuts, please. Kiana, you are talking my language.
Well, Plan A crashed and burned. Our cover was blown instantly. Who would have guessed a vet clinic would be equipped with a ring cam? But maybe, like Small suggested, honesty is our best bet. It's the quickest route to gaining their trust. I just hope we can dig up some answers in the paperwork.
Okay, here's the last file for you. I think that's it. The records go back to 2020, and the ones in the red folder are from 2022 to present. We started seeing positive flu tests in June of 2022.
Very interesting.
Dr. G, here's the map of Mason County. I stuck in some thumbtacks to show you the logistics of the outbreak. The red thumbtacks are the locations of farms that have had positive bird flu cases. The green thumbtacks show farms that haven't been affected yet.
Uh-huh. Kiana, you're so efficient. Let me take a photo of this map.
Kiana, what are the purple thumbtacks representing?
The purple thumbtacks represent Mothman sightings just from 2022. If you see the black thumbtacks, those represent sightings before 2022.
Looks like there's 7 farms that are green, which means negative for flu, and then there's 25, 26, 27, 27 that are red, which means that they're positive. Kiana, can you print a list of the farms and their addresses for us? The negative and the positive ones. I think we need to visit the farms and get a closer look.
I have that right here. This list is the positive farms, and this is the negative list. I also have the name of the farm owner in the far right column.
Thank you, Kiana.
I think I have another older map that shows more of the terrain and waterways. Give me a few minutes, and I'll have that for you.
It looks like most of the positive farms are owned by random individual people. Ed Thomas, Louis Freelander, Mary Johnston. And the 7 negative ones are owned by BB Farms LLC.
Could it be that BB Farms has some solid biosecurity rules set up? Maybe being part of a group of farms means they've got better protocols than a solo farmer would.
Maybe, it could be that. I think you're right. We should go out and visit some of the farms, ask some questions, look around.
Okay, let's start with BB Farms. Going to the negative farms first is a good way to prevent contamination. Let's see, there's one that's just about 4 miles from here.
Dr. G, Smalls, I pulled all of the medical records from our farm calls since January 1st of 2022. I went back 6 months before the first positive case.
So smart. Great idea.
Wow, that's a lot of records.
And here's a flash drive with files organized in Excel format. Everything sorted by location, farm size, breeds of chickens, other species on premises, and contact info for the managers. Over here, we've got a breakdown of places with chickens, along with the same info. And this column indicates which ones have tested positive and which ones haven't.
Oh.
Kiana, do you have a map of the places on this too?
Of course. Smalls, click on this tab and it will pull up a map.
It seems so random.
Random, yes.
Speaking of random, let me show you a time lapse of the positive cases on the same map.
Incredible, Kiana. Wow.
Doesn't look like a particular pattern there either. Just random locations popping up. East, north, southwest. So random.
Kiana, can you also show us the pathology reports? I would like to take a look at them.
Sure. I have those as PDFs in the next tab, organized by farm name alphabetically. Plus, I have a summary of all tests on one PDF, and this one has the pathology report included.
Sonoret Labs? Is that a West Virginia thing? I've never heard of that company before.
Sonoret Labs. They're new to veterinary medicine, but they have extensive experience on the human side, boasting cutting-edge technology like AI and top-notch pathologists. I've always admired their quick turnaround time. It's almost like magic. We get reports back in as little as 10 minutes sometimes.
Like magic.
Kiana left us alone in the conference room as we sifted through the mountains of information. It's daunting. 27 confirmed farms with cases of highly pathogenic avian flu. I couldn't help but feel overwhelmed. This is way beyond my skill set. Sure, but I have experience with my own flock of chickens, but I'm definitely not an expert on poultry. I couldn't shake the nagging question. Why did they send us on a special assignment?
Is it me, or do you feel like we are in way over our heads?
Whew, thank goodness. I've been racking my brain trying to recall everything from epidemiology in vet school. I can't even remember my professor's name. And poultry? Did I even take a class on poultry? I mean, sure, I had a few chickens back home in Connecticut, and honestly, I know next to nothing about them.
To make matters worse, it appears we're dealing with avian flu. I do know that means we're potentially facing a catastrophe, but we're looking at potential human illness, economic losses. We have to solve this problem before people start getting sick. The stakes couldn't be higher.
Carney!
What?
Dr. Patrick Carney.
Who is that?
Oh my God, he's one of the few epidemiologists who's also an internal medicine specialist, and he's at Cornell. Let's see if we can track him down and have him review this data. If anyone can figure it out, it would be him. Let me find his number and give him a call.
Hello?
Dr. Carney?
Yes, it's me.
Hi there, it's Dr. Smalls. I met you at the AVMA conference last year. I was the eager guy bombarding you with questions up front during your talk on epidemiology. Well, I could really use your help right now. I'm out working with a team on a strange case right now, and we need an epidemiologist's insight to make sense of everything.
Of course I remember you. What can I do to help?
Okay, we are in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. I'm not sure if you've seen the news, but this area is dealing with an outbreak of highly pathogenic avian flu. The case we are working on now involves 27 poultry farms being shut down because of it, but there's also 7 farms that have remained safe.
I had heard about that. It really caught my interest.
We've got a stack of paperwork and records, including diagnostic reports, as well as a map pinpointing various locations. Honestly, we're a bit lost here. We're veterinarians, not epidemiologists, so we're hoping you can guide us through conducting a proper investigation.
Absolutely, I can help with that. So the first step is usually just establishing a case definition. When you have an outbreak of any kind of disease, you really have to say, how are we going to identify which animal counts as a case and which animal are we going to consider not a case? So really pinning down how we define that. Is it the tests we run? Is it the clinical signs they have? Are there multiple different case definitions? So it's clinical signs or a test result. All of those are important for trying to figure out who we consider to be affected and who's not affected.
In this case, we don't see much about the animals being sick in the records, but we do see the results that say the tests were positive for HPAI through serology and PCR.
Okay, those are good ways of diagnosing it. PCR is kind of the gold standard. And the next step after defining a case, which is probably a positive test result, is verifying that diagnosis. So it's important to have PCR and some other confirmation of that diagnosis for animals that we're calling a case, at least initially. So if they have PCR and serology, that would kind of back up the diagnosis in that case.
As far as we know, the 27 positive farms had their animals euthanized, so there are no animals left on those sites. Now, we're aiming to investigate the 7 negative farms, but we're uncertain about what to look for, if there's any samples that should be collected. Your assistance would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, the order of operations is usually to go to the places without affected animals first, just that the investigator doesn't run the risk of bringing disease from an infected premise to a non-infected premise. And really what you're looking for are what biosafety measures are in place to prevent influenza from entering the facility and to prevent it from propagating through the facility if it actually gets there. So do they have good biocontainment when it comes to making sure that people coming in and out are wearing PPE, washing their hands? Do they have foot baths? Do they have airlock doors? All of those things are really important. And then just general things you would think of with disease transmission. Is the facility clean? Do the animals look well cared for? Do they have a protocol in place that you can actually find for disinfecting, cleaning, that sort of thing? All of those are really important to just say, does this look like the kind of place that is preventing against disease, and if disease gets in, is able to control it and contain it rather than letting it run rampant?
We have a vet tech who is helping us, and she mapped out the outbreak. Looking at it, the positive cases just seem random.
Yeah, the pattern can be really tricky to tease out because it really depends on how the disease is hopping around. So with avian influenza, often the point of entry is actually wild birds. So as you're inspecting these facilities, look for open air vents, netting? Are there ways for birds from the outside to access birds from the inside? So we're actually often more worried about farms that are free range, for example. If the animals have access to pasture, then they have access to wild birds as well. Other ways of transmission may be fomites, so vehicular traffic. So if you have a grain supplier that supplies multiple farms, they may actually be one of the paths of transmission, and how it shows up on the map is going to reflect what their delivery route looks like. So trying to figure out all of these patterns can be quite tricky, and no obvious pattern from the start doesn't necessarily mean that there isn't a common factor between the farms.
If we are going to the negative farm first, what kind of sample should we take?
Ideally, if the owner will let you, we usually recommend swabbing the birds, and for avian influenza, I believe the sampling is often cloacal swabs and oropharyngeal swabs.
Is there anything else we need to be concerned with? What about human exposure?
Yeah, so I think one of the important things is that it sounds like there are some negative facilities now. Active surveillance of those facilities is really important. So not waiting for the farm to report back to us if they have cases, but actually going to those negative facilities, as we discussed, and testing birds, kind of random sampling of the birds to see if there might be avian influenza in the flock. So that's going to be really important in an outbreak like this. And then the human risk is very real with avian influenza. The nice thing is it usually has a hard time jumping from bird to human, and an even harder time jumping from human to human. So the highest risk is the people that work very closely with the birds. And the CDC often says people that work within 6 feet of the birds for extended periods of time have the highest risk. So those people, you're going to want to make sure that you track them for about 10 days after their most recent exposure, looking for signs that are consistent with influenza. So most commonly, upper respiratory infection signs, plus or minus gastrointestinal signs. And if somebody that works closely with those birds develops clinical signs, then the CDC recommends testing those people for influenza, typically with a PCR. Other than that, if it were to escape out into the community, as a veterinarian, your responsibility is trying to minimize that risk. And once it has happened, that then switches over to the human side, and the human public health department really drives it from there.
Do we need to alert the public health?
Yeah, the veterinarian that diagnoses the first case of HPAI actually is responsible for notifying all the proper authorities. And it may vary from state to state, but typically that means that it is a reportable disease, and you need to notify the local public health department, the state veterinarian, and potentially federal agencies as well. So looking at your state regulations in West Virginia and making sure that you've reported to all of those appropriate entities is really important. And you do that as soon as you have confirmation of the diagnosis.
This is scary.
I'm glad you called me to ask these questions. It sounds like you have a pretty good plan in place. This is something that can be a little bit scary because it's always in the news. But just keep in mind, HPAI has a hard time jumping to humans. If you take reasonable precautions, you should be okay. And certainly if you have any other questions, give me a call.
Thank you for your help, Dr. Carney. We appreciate you.
My head is aching with all this knowledge. Dr. Carney was amazing. So what do we know now? Let's review and formulate a plan.
All right. Fact 1. All negative farms are run by one management company. So maybe they have a really stellar biosurveillance program? All the positive cases came from individually owned farms. Maybe they were less on protocol there.
In fact, 2, Dr. Carney agreed that the outbreak seemed sort of random. So maybe, like he said, the other places are just sloppy, or maybe share an employee or a visitor that spread the virus randomly? A visitor who didn't visit. What's the name of the negative farms? Zucchini farms.
Right, zucchini. In fact, 3, the positive reports came from the same diagnostic lab. All positive cases were confirmed positive for avian flu. Looks like they did a PCR and necropsy for path samples.
Right. And when I think of pathology, I think...
Of Dr. Alexandra Zura?
Yes, Dr. Alex. Let's give her a call. We're going to need her help.
Hey, Smalls. It's Dr. Alex Zura. Please tell me you're not dealing with more zombie problems.
Put her on speaker.
No.
Hi, Dr. Alex. No zombies this week.
Well then, what can I do for you? Need some path help on another project?
Yes, actually. We're investigating an avian flu outbreak in West Virginia, and we could really use your expertise. We're planning to visit some farms in the area, and we're wondering how we should go about sampling.
Avian flu, huh? Seems like we're seeing more cases popping up these days. Just read about a goat testing positive for it recently, and there's even talk of cows spreading the virus through milk. Birds flu definitely a hot topic right now.
It's scorching down here. 27 farms have been shut down already.
That is hot. All right, let's start our conversation by breaking down some key points about avian influenza in birds. First off, avian influenza, or bird flu, is caused by infection with avian influenza type A viruses. These viruses are found naturally in wild aquatic birds worldwide and can also infect domestic poultry and other bird species. Ducks, geese, and swans are considered reservoirs for those viruses. Now, there are two types of avian influenza viruses: low pathogenicity avian influenza and highly pathogenic avian influenza. Low-path viruses typically cause mild or no signs of disease in birds, while high-path viruses can lead to severe illness and high mortality rates, especially in chickens and turkeys. In terms of spread, infected birds can shed the virus in their saliva, nasal secretions, and feces, which can then infect other birds through contact and contaminated surfaces. Both low and high viruses can spread rapidly through poultry flocks. When outbreaks occur in domestic birds, like chickens and ducks, it's a big deal for several reasons. There's the risk of low viruses evolving into high viruses, which can have major implications. Plus, outbreaks can lead to significant illness, death, and economic losses among poultry flocks. And there's always the concern about transmission to humans who are exposed to infected birds. When outbreaks occur, measures like depopulation of infected flocks, surveillance of nearby flocks, and quarantine of exposed birds are usually carried out to control the spread of the virus.
So what kind of lesions would you see in affected birds?
The most common lesions associated are pancreatic and splenic necrosis. You would think it would be pneumonia, but it's actually rare.
So if we are going to a farm where the tests were all negative, what types of samples should we obtain?
You would need to take samples of saliva and stool, so let's talk about how to collect samples for detecting avian influenza. First off, it's important to use the right kind of swabs when collecting samples from birds. Synthetic or semi-synthetic swabs with a plastic handle work best, while ones with cotton and calcium alginate can mess up the results. Now, when it comes to which birds to sample, the priority goes like this. First, recent mortalities, then sick birds. If you can find any of those, sample the apparently healthy ones. For chickens, oropharyngeal swabs are preferred. That means swabbing the oral cavity and trachea, but avoiding the esophagus. For ducks or wild birds, cloacal swabs are preferred. After collecting the samples, make sure to swirl the swab in the viral transport media to get the virus on there. Then squeeze out the excess liquid and dispose of the swab properly. When pooling samples, make sure they're from the same species, premises, and sampling route. Now, when it comes to storing and transferring the samples, keep them on ice packs until they can be sent to the testing lab. And remember, if samples have to be frozen, they should stay frozen until they reach the lab. Once you're ready to send the samples to my lab, make sure to email ahead with all the necessary information, like the number of samples and tracking number, so I can make sure we process them quickly for you. So that's the gist of it. Make sure to follow these guidelines closely to ensure accurate and reliable results.
So we called Dr. Alex and quickly brought her up to speed with what was happening. 27 positive cases of highly pathogenic avian flu with a sporadic outbreak pattern, along with 7 farms owned by the same company that all tested negative. When we emailed her an encrypted link with the records and the diagnostic report summaries and made plans to ship her samples through the courier service as soon as we were able to obtain them, she promised she would work on them as soon as possible, so we would have timely results.
Done. Just sent Dr. Alex the pathology report summary. Now I think we should go to the farms and do some snooping around.
Both Dr. Carney and Dr. Alex emphasized the importance of investigating those locations firsthand. We'll start with Zucchini Farms, one of the negative locations, and then move to one of the positive locations nearby.
Oh, wait a second. Sam's FaceTiming me.
Hey guys, did you solve the problem already? You have been there 24 hours. Most of our agents are in and out within a few hours with an answer, you know?
We were really close to solving this mystery, Sam.
Oh, really?
Well...
Sam, solving mysteries takes time, you know. There's a ton of investigation to do, and we have to keep our cover intact. Patience is key here.
By the way, great job keeping your cover with Kiana. Who doesn't have a ring cam these days, right? Joran and I hacked into their ring cam and saw the entire conversation. You did an excellent job being stealthy.
Oh.
Anyway, the reason I'm calling you is we need you to head to the police station right now. The Trans Am involved in the accident with the Mothman is in impound, and we need you to take some samples. There is some blood, feathers, and possibly more. We need you to get those samples ASAP. The driver is still in the ICU, and when he is stable, we will have you come back to interview him.
Mothman samples?
Claws and blood?
We follow orders in the VIA, so we headed to the impound and were led to a car lot. You'd never know it was a Trans Am. It looked like someone took an axe to the hood. There were 6 large scratches, each about 3 inches deep and around 3 feet long. The rest of the car was a banged-up mess, probably from the drop into the embankment. We quickly collected samples after putting on sterile gloves. We swabbed up blood and stuck it in a sterile tube, used forceps to pick up a few random feathers, and then, as we were looking into one of the largest scratches, we saw a very large cream-colored claw. It was at least 4 inches long and as thick as my index finger, and it looked real. Real creepy, that is.
Sample shipped to Dr. Alex. Check that off our list.
Well, that was interesting.
You don't think what they're saying about the Mothman is true, do you?
No. No way, right? It's gotta be maybe a crow or a hawk.
That was a really long claw. It looked like something from Jeepers Creepers.
Jeepers Creepers, where'd you get those peepers?
Okay, alright, now you're scaring me. Just look out for a decrepit truck. Well, it seems like some people really think Mothman is the one behind the chicken deaths. I'm on a Mothman subreddit. It's on fire right now.
There's a subreddit on Mothman?
Yes, actually quite a few subreddits on cryptids in general. I am one of the moderators on the Cryptid Encounters.
Wow, you continue to amaze me, Smalls.
Someone named WV Local 99 says that we should visit the Mothman Museum while we're in town if we want to investigate more about Mothman. She also says that they have the coolest shirts.
Oh, exciting! We'll go after we finish the investigation before we head back to Connecticut. And here's hoping it will be tomorrow.
So we got in the rental Hyundai and headed to Zucchini Farms, one of the 7 negative locations. According to their website, the farm has been in the Hollowbrook family for generations. The current owner, Tom Hollowbrook, was the great-great-grandson of the original owner. He was going to meet us and take us on a tour. He seemed very willing to help us out, very friendly, and now that our cover was blown, we actually let him know about our investigation. Honesty's the best policy after all, I guess.
Hello! Welcome to Zucchini Farms. Which one of you is Dr. Smalls?
I am. You must be Tom Holbrook.
Yes, sirree, Bob. And you must be Dr. Greathouse.
Nice to meet you, and call me Dr. G, please.
Oh, wonderful. Speaking of wonderful, before we get started on the tour, would you like to try some delicious zucchini brownies? We can't start this unless we show you some southern hospitality.
Yes, I am starving, thank you.
Yes, please. Oh, these are delicious, so moist. Is there really zucchini in here?
Of course, we put zucchini in everything. Zucchini's the hot veggie right now. Move over, artichoke and butternut squash. Zucchini's coming for you.
It's so good, so moist.
Moist brownies. That's from our excellent eggs. We've won Best Eggs category 5 years in a row now down at the Mason County Fair, you know. Eggs make everything better. They're incredible.
Tom took us on a tour of the farm. He showed us where the birds lived, the food storage area, and the water supply. He even let us take samples. We collected oral, ocular, and nasal swabs as best we could, and we were even able to take a blood sample from a large hen. We took samples of litter and stool, plus a sample of feed. The place was large with hundreds of chickens.
Well, that's it for the tour. Let me know if you have any questions. I really want to help. It's so sad what happened in our county with those poor farmers. And any way I can help, just let me know.
Thank you, Tom.
So I want to make sure you enjoy your time in our town. Here's a special gift for you. 6 zucchini brownies, more of that good old southern hospitality. Take those back with you and enjoy them. Compliments on the farm. P.S. There's also a recipe inside, so you can make your own.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Yes, thank you. These are so amazing, and zucchini cancels out chocolate, so calories don't count. Hey, is it me or is something wrong here?
What?
Well, first of all, Tom was really friendly.
Oh, that's the South. They're all friendly down here.
Maybe that's it. I have a funny feeling. Something was off.
That would be the 3 brownies you practically snorted down.
2, not 3. More like 1.5. They're just bigger than a normal brownie. Hey, a girl's gotta eat, and I can never say no to chocolate. And they were so good and healthy with the zucchini. But that's not it.
I don't know. I think it was a nice place. Tom's a friendly guy, and he really wants to help us.
Oh, I think I know what's been bugging me. Smalls, if you think about it, a big operation like this, hundreds of chickens and 2 strangers come into your place from who knows where, and they walk everywhere, touching your feed, your water, your chickens, and your eggs, especially when every other farm has had to shut down because of the avian flu. He didn't ask us to put on PPE. No footies, no mask, nothing. I mean, sure, we wore gloves when taking the samples, and we decontaminated ourselves before coming here, but he doesn't know that. And he doesn't seem like he has a care in the world. It's like he thinks his flock is immune.
Yeah, come to think about it, I think you're right. I guess I was blinded by his southern charm. Now that you mention it, it's strange how unconcerned he was. And now that I think about it, the place was clean, but not super clean. I'm no poultry expert, but it didn't seem like a state-of-the-art facility, impervious to infectious disease. I didn't see any cleaning supplies or anything. No active cleaning, no foot baths, no protocols posted on the walls. Something to consider.
Exactly. It was okay clean-wise, but not what you would expect when dealing with a countrywide and serious outbreak. This type of outbreak could bankrupt a poultry business, and even worse, people could get sick. This has the potential to explode into a huge mess.
Right.
What I realized today is that even those of us who work exclusively with small animals really should try to stay up to date with the public health aspect of veterinary medicine, like avian flu. I didn't realize how devastating it can be to the economy. It's a reminder of how interconnected different areas of veterinary medicine can be, and the importance of being informed about potential threats beyond our immediate focus.
Speaking of economy, how much is a dozen eggs in Riverton?
I sell my organic eggs for $4, but at the local Aldi, a dozen eggs is usually $1.99.
Guess how much Zucchini Farm sells a dozen for? $8. I saw a sign while we were on the tour. Eggs in New York City aren't even $8.
Oh my God, that's crazy! I seem to recall the high egg prices around the pandemic shutdown when there were production issues, but it normalized after. Maybe a little more expensive now, but nowhere near $8.
So, fact number 3. Zucchini Farms is selling eggs at $8 a dozen and don't seem to be nervous about the outbreak. If they get closed down, that's a lot of money to lose. How many eggs did he say they sell every week, altogether from their farms? 500 dozen? That's 4,000 times 4, or $16,000 a month? That's a lot of money.
Wow, if I made that much money from eggs, I would wear a hazmat suit every time I looked at my flock.
Yeah, very strange.
So it's day 2 of our investigation, and honestly, we're hitting a bit of a wall. Despite all of our digging, we're no closer to cracking the case. I'm thinking about just heading back home to Connecticut, but we're not giving up just yet. Today, we're splitting up our efforts. I'm off to check on one of the positive farms, while my partner takes a trip to the Mothman Museum for the behind-the-scenes tour and to interview some locals. It might sound a bit unconventional, but hey, sometimes you find clues in the most unexpected places. And, oh yeah, I have a meeting scheduled with John, the manager of BB Farms, at 3:30 p.m. sharp. Let's see if he's got any insights to share.
Okay, so I'm going to head over to the museum and see what I can find out. Are you okay checking this place out by yourself?
Yes, I've got it. Just give me another one of those. Brownies! I hate you, Smalls! Ugh! Hello? John, are you there? Hello? Strange, no one is here? Oh, a note, be right back. Okay, I wonder if I got the wrong time. No, it's 3:30, right on the dot. I guess there's no reason I can't snoop a little. I am a secret agent. Let me just take a peek at their records and, Okay. So on June 15th, the test came back positive. It looks like the birds were picked up on the 16th. I guess to be destroyed. 115 hens total. What's this? Oh, it's an official notice from the state of West Virginia about the positive cases. This farm is under quarantine to stop the spread of avian influenza to other flocks in the state. The birds and eggs on the farm will not enter the food system. West Virginia poultry producers are encouraged to increase biosurveillance to prevent the spread of the disease. Producers should take the following actions. Limit, monitor, and record any movement of people, vehicles, or animals on or off the farm. Permit only essential workers and vehicles to enter the farm to limit the chances of bringing the virus from an outside source. Avoid visiting other poultry farms and any unnecessary travel off the farm. Disinfect equipment, vehicles, footwear, and other items that are in contact with flocks. Keep your flock away from migratory birds, especially waterfowl. Isolate any ill animals and contact your veterinarian. It shouldn't hurt if I take a little peek at the operations either. It's completely empty. Not even a single feather. Nothing. Looks clean. They have APHIS protocols. Keep visitors to a minimum and make sure everyone who has contact with the flock follows biosecurity principles. Wash your hands before and after coming in contact with the poultry. Wash with soap and water. First choice is soap and water if using hand sanitizer. First, remove manure, feathers, and other material because disinfectants will not penetrate organic matter. Wear disposable boot covers, disinfectant foot baths, or both for everyone having contact with the flock. If using a foot bath, be sure to remove all droppings, mud, or debris from boots, shoes, and using a long-handled scrub brush before stepping into the disinfected foot bath, and always keep it clean. Change clothes before entering poultry areas and before exiting property. Visitors should wear protective outer garments for disposal, overalls, boots, and headgear when handling birds, and shower or change clothes when leaving the facility. Looks like they know what they're doing. I didn't see any protocols or evidence of following biosurveillance protocols at Zucchini Farms. What's this? Disposable booties. PPE. They're fully stocked. I wonder what's behind that door. Maybe it's where they keep their cleaning supplies. Hello, is anyone there? Help! Help! Is anyone there? Darn, I dropped my phone! What's this? Oh my god, this is the absolute grossest thing. It drugs me, I'm done. Gross! Oh, it's poo! Lots and lots of poo! I'll never find my phone in this house. The door's not opening. I think it's folded. Help me! I'm trapped in a room full of poo! Oh, this is not good. Oh my god. I really got myself into a predicament. Someone pushed me into a manure pit. Somebody was trying to stop our investigation. In the manure pit? This is really bad. I just saw a documentary about unusual farm deaths, and one of the segments was about death by manure pit. In most cases of manure pit, the victims fall into the pit and died of asphyxiation. According to the show, the 4 main gases produced in decomposing manure are hydrogen sulfide, methane, ammonia, and carbon dioxide. In high concentration, each of these gases is deadly. When pits are agitated, i.e. someone stumbling into one like me, these gases are rapidly released from the manure and can reach toxic levels or displace oxygen, increasing the risk of death. I've got to get out of here, and quickly.
Dr. G? Hey, are you in there?
Yeah, I'm here, help. The air is full of methane. You've got to get me out of here, and fast!
Here, I'm here. Grab my hand.
Oh my gosh, what did you do?
What did I do? Someone came behind me and pushed me in!
Into a pit of manure.
I am so sorry to hear that. I'm sorry I wasn't here. I had to run out unexpectedly. I'm John, by the way, the manager. There's no one else here, my dear. You must have just slipped. So sorry. Are you okay, honey?
Dr. G, you really smell horrible. John, is there some place we can get her cleaned up?
Sure, of course. We have a garden hose outside, and we can clean you up real good. Come with me and I'll take you there. It's right by the duck pond.
Silver lining of falling into a manure pit? I think I have the winning answer if anyone plays the game. What's the grossest thing you've ever done? Thank goodness Smalls came back. I would have been a goner if I was there any longer. He walked into the duck pond and found a hose, and of course it was cold water only. My luck. Smalls sprayed, and I just tried not to scream too much, and no matter how much I was sprayed, the smell was everywhere. I couldn't wait to get back to the motel so I could take a nice, long, hot shower. John was quite the talker, and while I was cleaning up, he told us all about the outbreak and how the state shut down the property and the chickens were sent for destruction. He also mentioned that the farm owner lost everything, including the property, and was filing for bankruptcy, which meant he wasn't going to be receiving a last paycheck or severance. He was as broke as the farm. John also found some towels that weren't the cleanest and were a little crusty. He was convinced that I imagined that I was pushed into the pit, but trust me, when you get shoved into a manure pit, you know it. And the door was jammed. It doesn't make sense to me. Did he push me? No, of course not. He's so nice. Oh my god, he's cold! Oh my god! Oh.
Come on, Dr. G. I know that this is very uncomfortable, but we have got to get this off you. We're never going to get our deposit back on the rental car if that smell gets into the upholstery. Oh, this is disgusting.
These dogs are super cute, though. They love the watering up like the queen of the dogs. Look how happy they are. They don't even care about the smell. Look at that. He baby, so cute. Ducks? facts here. Okay, how many facts are we up to now? I have some more to add.
What a day. Also, have to tell you about what I learned at the Mothman Museum doing my research.
Thank goodness you got a Mothman t-shirt, or I'd be driving home naked. Or at least driving to the hotel naked, I mean.
And you can keep that one. Please keep that one. I don't think the smell is ever going to get out of your skin. You still smell really bad, but, back to the facts.
Fact number 6, I think. I don't know, but the next fact is someone didn't like the fact we were snooping around. And I don't care what John said. Somebody pushed me in, and they locked the door. That happened. I did not fall and then lock the door behind me. That's crazy. And if you didn't come when you did, I wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah, John seems nice, southern nice, but you never know, right? He did send us home with some banana bread. Do you want a piece? I know you must be starving.
I am starving! What's with these people? They're obsessed with baking, right? It's so good! So moist and creamy. What were we talking about?
We were talking about the facts. Like fact number 7, healthy ducks. If this was a bird flu, the ducks could be affected, and that means they could have been sick, dead, or somewhere in between. And if not, they would have at least been removed when the chickens were removed. And check this out.
What's that?
While you and John weren't looking, I grabbed a couple of ducks and took some swabs and some blood samples. I can be stealth when I want to be.
Genius! It seems like the post office has been our most successful stop so far. Smalls insisted that we overnight the duck samples to Dr. Alex before returning to the hotel. So counting the samples we've sent, there's the ones from Zucchini Farms, the duck samples from John's farm, and the claw, blood, and feathered samples from the Trans Am. Dr. Alex is going to be a very busy pathologist. We settled in at Motel 6 and waited anxiously for answers. With nothing else to do, we wondered if we'd be able to figure this out. I couldn't shake the feeling that it might be impossible. That shower was heavenly! After 4 showers in 2 days, I finally feel human again. What do you think of my outfit?
Well, you did mention that you'd wear your little black dress and heels no matter what, but I bet you didn't imagine it would be at a Motel 6 instead of some big event.
True. I should have packed some more scrubs, or at least some jeans. All I have left is this, and I had to toss my scrubs after yesterday's mess. But hopefully we'll be out of here soon, and this will just be a bad memory. I'm famished. Where's the closest place to eat?
Waffle House, McDonald's, or a gas station Subway.
Waffle House it is! Jimmy Choo's, don't let me down!
What?
My shoes. They're vintage Jimmy Choo's. I'll probably be the first person to ever eat at a Waffle House wearing this brand. Probably the first person staying at a Motel 6 wearing them, too.
Wait, let's see who's calling us. Hello?
It's Dr. Alex again. I have your results. Hey guys, hope you are sitting down for this.
We are ready. What did you find out?
Everything was negative. Swabs and blood samples from the chickens at Zucchini Farms and the ducks at BB Farms. All negative. All negative.
The results from the diagnostic lab said everything was positive.
So you say these results were AI generated?
Yes.
No, it's not bad. I mean, AI is a fantastic leverage, but make sure that this is a well-renowned and well-validated test. Actually, you can ask them if they can share the validation data of the algorithm with you, and I can help you review it. If the data used for development were split in the correct way, so if they had a training, validation, and testing set, we should be good, and we should check what is the level of heterogeneity of this data. Can it actually be, is the data pool trained on diverse enough to claim that the test is robust? Send me the validation package from the company who developed the test. They should have it available, and I'll help you review.
This is getting so strange. What's going on? Dr. Alex and her pathology power saved the day again. All right, now let's piece together everything. Something fishy is going on in Point Pleasant, and it's not bird flu. But why? We need to figure this out. Waffle House can wait.
Well, if Waffle House is out, want another piece of banana bread? Then we can go through everything we know so far. All this investigation makes me so hungry.
Yes, gimme. They're so delicious. So creamy and moist. Okay, what do we have here? 27 positive reports of avian flu on farms. 7 farms that have remained negative and functioning despite not using biosurveillance protocols.
And owned by the same company. And selling eggs for $8 a dozen.
And Dr. Alex confirmed that not only were the chickens negative from Zucchini Farms, which we knew, but the ducks were also negative on PCR and serology. If this was avian influenza, the ducks would have been sick or have antibodies. And we saw that they were housed in the exact location as the chickens on the farm. And obviously they'd intermingled. Although sometimes they don't get sick or become clinical, but why weren't they removed from the property with the chickens?
Yeah, this doesn't make sense. Unless...
Unless what?
When you have eliminated all that is impossible, then whatever remains, however improbable, is the truth. The reports are fake.
Hey, where's the folder? Let's take a look at the reports closer.
Whoa, check this out. I didn't notice it before, but all the invoice numbers are the same. 768931-12 for all 27 farms. They're supposed to be independently owned, so each should have a unique number. And look, they all have identical accession codes, too. These reports are definitely fake. Someone just copied them and swapped out the farm details. How did we miss this earlier?
Hold on, there's a number here for the diagnostic laboratory. Let me give them a call and see if we can get some answers.
All right, dialing now.
We're sorry. You have reached a number that has been disconnected or is no longer in service.
It's all a sham! Even their website, the domain sonorantlabs.com is for sale. Fake.
Speaking of fakes, I think we need to revisit BB Farms. There's something off about this delicious banana bread. I think I might have a hunch. We just need some concrete evidence.
We hopped into the car and made our way to BB Farm. If my gut feeling was correct, we'd soon have all the answers we needed. All we had to do was reach the farm and uncover what I suspected.
Okay, this time we really need to be stealth. Someone tried to take you out, so we need to fly under the radar on this. Let's walk from here so no one will see us pulling up.
Looks like no one is here. I wonder if the door's locked.
Good. Keep your phone light low. We don't want anyone to see us here. I'm going to go to the office and see if I can find evidence of tampering with the diagnostic results.
Good idea, Smalls. Go and look and see what you can find. I'm going to the kitchen. I have a funny feeling about something. Oh, there's the refrigerator. I knew it!
Well done, Dr. Greathouse. Looks like you've got it all figured out.
Too bad you won't live long enough to share your revelation. Both of you will conveniently fall into the manure pit. Second time's the charm.
They've got a gun, Dr. G.
Quiet.
You won't get away with this.
Oh, but we will. This town loves a good story. We'll just blame the Mothman for your disappearance.
We've got the perfect place to hide your bodies. No one will check the pit. Who'd be dumb enough to fall in twice? But I have to ask, how did you unravel our plan?
Your banana bread is amazing. And that's how I caught on.
My banana bread? Seriously?
Your baking skills gave you away. You can't make such delicious banana bread without real eggs, yet you claim to have no money and eggs are $8 a dozen. And then I found your stash.
Too bad your brains won't save you now. Hands up, we're taking the back exit.
How about some eggs to go with that ham?
What the?
Jab, knee kick, arm bar.
Take that. I've got a rope. Call the cops, Dr. G. I'll tie him up. Nice Krav Maga moves, by the way. Yoren would be impressed.
So after the epic showdown, where, by the way, I totally rocked, the cops rolled in. John was probably feeling the heat, spilled the tea, giving us the lowdown. Turns out Tom and John were distant cousins who saw the pandemic egg price surge as a cash cow. But when prices dipped, they weren't having it. Cue the master plan. Monopolize the local egg scene with zucchini farms, jack up prices to a cool $8 a dozen, and laugh all the way to the bank. No competition in sight. But wait, there's more. Those destroyed birds? Nah, they were secretly shuffled back to zucchini farms, helping them multiply their flock and their profits like crazy. Now onto the whole test shenanigans. Yeah, they were a hot new thing, rated in $42 million for Series B round of their AI magic. But plot twist, the CEO vanished into thin air, leaving behind a mess of fake results. Think Theranos, but for pets. No wonder Kiana's clinic was receiving diagnoses faster than you can refresh your InstaFeed. It was all smoke and mirrors, courtesy of a sketchy tech company. Why is everyone giving us looks?
Giving us looks? You mean you. Just look at what you're wearing. A Mothman t-shirt over taffeta. And your shoes? Well, they look like they've seen better days.
Well, who cares what someone wears, right? Plus, losing most of my clothes means less luggage to pay for on the discount airline back home. So, in a way, falling into the mud saved me $200, although my Jimmy Choos have seen better days.
Finding the bright side, huh?
Absolutely. Always look for the silver lining.
Dr. Alex.
Hey guys, I just received the results from the samples you provided from the crashed up Trans Am. Are you sure this isn't some kind of prank?
Absolutely not. What did you discover?
It's rather peculiar. Take the blood sample, for example. The red blood cells appear to be oval-shaped with a central nucleus.
Nucleated red blood cells.
Exactly. That's typical seen in avian species. But here's the kicker. When we analyzed the DNA, it confirmed the blood to be human.
Half bird, half man, perhaps?
Maybe. That's why I'm reaching out. We need to obtain a live sample for further testing so we can figure this out. So you need to go back and find the creature and see if you can take some blood, feces, and saliva samples.
We're losing you.
If you can capture the creature...
Oops, we lost her. Too bad. Oh, well, I guess we can't hear what she had to say. I hope it wasn't important.
Well, while we're waiting for the plane, do you want to share this last piece of banana bread?
Oh, yeah.
Based on a short story by Dr. Jill Lopez, All Creatures, Feathers, Fear, and Flu. Join the hunt for Mothman features lead actors Clay and Caitlin Palmer, along with Angela Stoyanovska, Martin Manev, and Keisha Brown. This show includes expert insight from veterinary specialist Dr. Alexandra Zara, Dr. Patrick Carney, and special guest star Kiana Bayman. The show was crafted and produced by audio engineer Vosko Kostovsky, alongside Vet Candy. You can tune in to All Creatures on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and your preferred podcast platform.